why isn't that she's not called up to explain and talk about this, implicate people, to talk about evidence, to make a statement about this, to do anything? I mean, if there were no clients, then why is she even in jail? If she went to jail and all this stuff happened and Epstein was this weird trafficker, you're telling me nobody knows anything about this? Nobody's going to go to jail?
DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting.
DOJ has lost its mission to fight crime. There was no client list. You know what? I can't even say anything. That's crazy, though. I got an Epstein that actually makes sense. Charlie Kirk.
Joining us now is Mark Halperin, editor-in-chief of Two Way and host of Next Up on the Megyn Kelly Network. Mark, great to see you. Mark, I caught your interview with Megyn Kelly, I think it was yesterday, where you were discussing the Epstein story. This is an unusual one where it seems as if it is growing in its interest and with velocity over the last couple of days. What
outstanding use of words right there. Amazing.
Is your analysis as a reporter of how the Trump administration has handled this, and what would you say is the political implications of this?
Well, first of all, nice to be back.
Political what again?
What would you say is the political implications of this?
Oh, the political implications, okay.
Well, first of all, nice to be back. And if you want to know why I'm not, as is our usual practice, wearing a ripped and wrinkled T-shirt, it's because I
ripped and wrinkled T-shirt.
Had your friend Michael Knowles on my podcast today, and as you know, he's an Ivy League dweeb. I knew he'd wear a sports jacket, so
that's right. He always dresses up.
That's why I'm overdressed. Okay, so there's at least 4 reasons why you would think.
Oh, I gotta sneeze. Hold up. Thank you.
The president and the administration would be doing full-on disclosure. First, it's the right thing to do for the victims. Second,
I'm just surprised that they haven't released anything.
Second,
like, this is kind of like, ooh, I just came up with this one theory. The list could be the phone book. Yeah, but you could say that even though there's a phone book, the people in the phone book could be the list. But not all of them could be in the list.
They promised that they would be transparent about this. 3, the MAGA movement, as best we can tell, certainly many of its leaders, like you, are for it. But certainly, I surveyed I asked everyone on Two Way this morning on the morning meeting. Go in the chat if you're a 3-time Trump voter. Say what you think they should do, and very pro disclosure.
That's crazy. Wait,
you met Jeffrey Epstein once.
Yep.
Talk to me about what that's like, coming face to face with somebody of that caliber.
Whatever that means. Well. One thing is that there is a physiological reaction that corresponds.
Physiological. Relating to the branch of biology that deals with the normal functions of living organisms and their parts. Relating to the way in which a living organism or bodily part functions.
To this phrase that, the hair on the back of my neck stood on end. Like, that's a real physiological feeling. I don't know whether the hair actually does that, but it's exactly what it feels like. You're meeting somebody who is unholy. And one of the most interesting things is that he was beckoning into a world that didn't seem to exist but for him as the doorman.
But for him as a doorman, I mean, there was people waiting at the door. I highly doubt he was the only one who was opening the door. There's probably other people there. That's what I'm thinking.
Name printed on them.
But this was already going wrong in the early 2000s. You see,
Early 2000s.
My sense of this is that this was a pre-internet plan that lived into the internet age and couldn't survive contact with the internet age.
What did the internet bring in that didn't allow it to survive?
Eyeballs, discussion.
Level of surveillance.
Well, there's a claim that nobody cares about Jeffrey Epstein because it's this many years later and we've all moved on. Yeah, that's completely untrue. And we know that it's untrue.
A lot of people want to know. That's basically what it is. Dude, oh my God, bro.
Because if you start talking about Jeffrey Epstein, the engagement goes up. So you have these fiction.
Wait, the engagement goes up. What do you mean? Also, because, okay, so if this video actually gets a lot of views, then there is a lot of people who want to know what the Jeffrey Epstein list was. I'm thinking phone book contacts, like a favorites,
Like, that are put out by mainstream media or traditional news desks, which is, nobody cares about that story. Well, that you can see from social media that that's not true, from the internet. So the internet is constantly providing.
Oh, Coca-Cola, that looks like it's Starbucks. I'm just saying.
An ability to check whether or not these claims from inside the structure are true. And Jeffrey Epstein is an example of what I call an anti-interesting phenomenon.
Anti-interesting phenomenon.
What's that?
Well, an anti-interesting thing is something that would normally be fascinating. Imagine, for example, you had a story where you could get a Pulitzer Prize for breaking it. Everybody cares. You'd sell papers like hotcakes, blah, 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 and nobody wants to report on it. And it's like right there. You could just ask the dumbest questions and it would, like, New York Times says, disgraced financier. Well, tell me. Did you find his prime broker? Did you find the forms? Did you go to his offices in Villard House? No, nobody does, ever. The story is anti-interesting, and it's very different than being uninteresting.
Which would suggest...
What the fuck did he just say?
The story is anti-interesting, and it's very...
Anti-interesting. So it's not interesting, but it's anti-interesting.
Different than being uninteresting. The story is anti-interesting, and it's very different than being uninteresting.
Uninteresting, but anti-interesting. So that means that it's an extreme it's an extreme interesting opposite of that. Thus making it the forbidden fruit that everyone wants to get to know.
Which would suggest more collusion,
Wait, could I... Review. Steve Bannon? What? Steve... Come on, bro. I cannot spell or something? What the heck? 15-hour interview where Steve had an exclusive interview with Jeffrey Epstein.
I made my living from old thinking, but the future is for the way women think.
The way women think.
That's correct.
Is that not a sop because of all the depravity you've done against young women? And your new sop is that their women's thinking is the future?
No, I've always believed that women would be, in fact, be able to take over. I'm a firm believer and supporter of Time's Up.
Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World.
Bro, I'm trying to see the interview.
Like BBC covered it up, just like BBC had previously covered it up, or covered up Jimmy Savile's set.
The future is for the way women think.
The way women think.
That's correct.
Is that not a sop because of all the depravity you've done against young women, and your new sop is that their women's thinking is the future?
No, I've always believed that women would in fact be able to take over. I'm a firm believer and supporter of Time's Up.
Federal prosecutors said yesterday video of Epstein's jail cell when he made his first suicide attempt no longer exists.
And Jeffrey Edward Epstein?
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
Yes.
Epstein got away with his crimes because nearly every element of society allowed him to get away with them.
This morning, we're learning new details of the exact...
Wait, hold up. There's an interview? Where can I watch this? Steve Bannon interviewing Epstein? Clips?
No, money never interested me.
Money never interested.
Money never interested me, no.
Money to me is only numbers.
How many houses do you have?
I don't know.
You don't know how many houses you have?
Next month marks 2 years since the death of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein inside a New York City jail. We were under...
Whoa. 1985? And Eva Anderson. Oh, there he is!
Ta min hand med Dan Tillberg. Så till vår fjärde finalist. Och här...
Bro's just sitting there.
Piccadilly Circus med Pernilla Wahlgren. Och så till vår sista finalist.
The finalist. What is this for? A TV show or something? Wait.
Interesting to me is the similarity of the function of noise to the function of the winning strategies, in that if you're trapped in a local energy well in an energy landscape, you need some noise, a little bit of thermal energy to pop you into potentially better one. And so there's a funny way in which it gives noise a moral quality.
Noise in which strategies reproduce from one generation to the next.
Bro, I'm talking like I'm in the comments or something, but what is this about? Like edge seminars? What is edge seminar?
And this allows you to explore fitness landscapes and allows you to avoid being stuck at a certain place. Another thing that avoids being stuck is sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction is a kind of noise generator to generate combination.
That's been my experience.
And another way how noise comes in, interestingly, is in the repeated game. If you don't have noise, there's a lot of unbroken symmetry between strategies. Many strategies look the same because the off-equilibrium path is kind of never visited without noise. So noise is something that differentiates the subtleties of strategies. And only adding noise to the actually not, that's prevented. So they don't see that because that's not possible. And so what we have done is we have taken public goods game with cooperation punishment or preemptive strike. I know they will punish me, so let me punish them first. The other possibility is I distrust everybody who actually thinks he can cooperate with the system. Who cooperates with the system is a fool. And if I repeat,
whoever cooperates with the system is a fool? What the heck are they talking about?
Business dilemma. And so that's good for us private, and it's good for us in public. And people who cooperate in public will also get these private deals. In Romania, what we observed is the public cooperation broke down. Nobody cooperated in public, but people still cooperated in private. They didn't link the two games. And the people said that makes so much sense because people distrust that a public project could ever work. But I rely on private income.
So I've always had a little trouble seeing how direct reciprocity gets started. And I was wondering if you have models where the component behaviors are all present, but indirect reciprocity is not, whether mutants would take off. Because
why is that dude smoking in a meeting?
I'm helping people who have helped other people.
Which is sort of marking after all, it's acquired characters are passed down to offspring. And
tit for tat, always defend.
it's a pretty much noisier environment, since the genes are flowing around in all directions at all times.
Edge seminars. Wait, Edge as in like the website Edge?
And I mean, they do quorum sensing, they make bio.
Okay, hold up. Speaking the position.
Sir, raise your right hand. These lines swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do. Do you enjoy coercing minors into sex acts with you? Will you agree that you exchanged money for sexual gratification with at least 50 girls at your Palm Beach mansion?
At the present time, my attorneys have counseled me that I cannot provide answers to any questions relevant to this lawsuit.
Do you know somebody by the name of Courtney Wild? Isn't it true that you were targeting young, economically deprived minor girls with little or no parental guidance? Isn't it true that you typically engaged in sex or sex acts with minor girls 3 or 4 times each day? With each of these underage minor females that was brought to your house, your method of sexually exploiting them was nearly identical. Is that correct? Did you care about any of the underage minor females at the time when you were engaging?
Oh shit. Sarah Kelly and Epstein deposition.
With respect to each of these minor girls, isn't it
Can do to people. Epstein served just over a year in jail. He's now on house arrest, which ends next month. Lawyers for the billionaire say Epstein has settled lawsuits.
He agreed to serve a total of 18 months in the Palm Beach detention facility, 12 for felony solicitation of prostitutes, and an additional 6 for procuring persons under 18 for prostitution. The conviction stemmed from several incidents from August of 2004 to October of 2005. The prosecuting attorney would not say how many female victims there are. She would only say there was more than one adult victim and more than one underage victim. After 18 months in the Palm Beach detention facility, Epstein will serve another 12 months house arrest at his Palm Beach home. The 54-year-old will be confined to his home except for work and other activities approved by his probation officer. In addition, Epstein will serve 12 months.
What the
Go
fuck?
after those traffickers.
That's crazy. Wait, hold on. Epstein's linked to Israel and the rise of anti-Semitism. Joe Rogan.
Out of all the information that's getting disclosed, supposedly this administration, what do you have the least faith that we're going to come to
Epstein,
a conclusion?
for sure.
Epstein.
And I think it's because of Israel. I think
Really?
that because I mean, when you really dig into Epstein, his entire network was Israel. It was clearly like Ehud Barak was the ex-prime minister and the ex-head of Israeli intelligence.
YouTube. This is crazy. Yo.